So you're thinking of moving to Edmond, Oklahoma, and you want to know all that there is to know about moving to and living in Edmond, Oklahoma. My name is Kinsley Hauser, and I'm a local realtor in Edmond, Oklahoma and its surrounding areas. Whether you're looking to move in 10 days or 10 months, I would love to be able to connect with you and help you on your move. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can give me a call, text, email, you can send me a DM or schedule a Google Meet so that we can just get in contact and I can help you on your move to Oklahoma. In this video, I'm going to give you some pros and cons of moving to and living in Edmond, Oklahoma. I love living in Edmond. I know a lot of the people that I've helped move here really love Edmond as well, but Edmond's not for everybody. There are definitely a lot of pros to it, but there's also some cons. And so I just want to lay out some of the pros and cons of, again, moving to and living in Edmond. So the first pro is going to be the schools. There are very top rated schools within Edmond. Edmond is primarily made up between two school districts, both of these either A or A+ ratings. And when you look up best school districts in Oklahoma, chances are you're going to see Edmond Public Schools and Deer Creek Public Schools in the top couple. There is a strong emphasis of education within Edmond specifically. I know that sometimes Oklahoma gets a bad rap for its education, and if you look at rankings, it obviously makes sense. But when you're looking at specifically Edmond, the schools within Edmond tend to be very highly ranked, very highly viewed. And so that is one reason that a lot of people are moving to Edmond, and that is definitely a big pro to Edmond. Number two is the affordability. When you're looking at affordability from Edmond compared to some of the other Oklahoma City metros, it does tend to be higher, but when you look at Edmond versus some of the other cities around the United States, it is still very affordable. The average home in Edmond tends to be in the 300,000s, and this can get you a very cute, new, updated, modern, well-built, nice home within Edmond. Whereas I know a lot of other places, 300,000 can barely get you your first starter home. 300,000 can get you a very nice house within Edmond. Edmond tends to be a safe community. The city consistently ranks as one of the safest places to live in Oklahoma. This definitely offers residents a sense of security and peace of mind. When you compare the crime rates from Edmond to other cities, like I said, it tends to rate in one of the highest and safest areas within Oklahoma. Pro number four is the quality of life. Typically, Edmond tends to give a very good quality of life with well-maintained parks, recreational facilities, and a strong sense of community within Edmond. Like I said at the beginning, I love living in Edmond. I love all that it offers. I love the people and just really the sense of community that you feel when you do live here. The next pro is the growing economy. There are a lot of industries and a lot of jobs that are moving to Edmond, or at least to the Oklahoma City metro, and this is creating a lot of opportunities for Edmond. The last pro is the food, and this is something that you're not going to have as many options as you would in some major cities, but I think the food in Edmond is really top notch. There's a lot of restaurants that are local that are really delicious. There's a lot of restaurants that are kind of local to Oklahoma that you might not have other places that really do provide a very well-rounded eating experience within Edmond. There's so many great places that I like to eat, that we like to eat as a family. And if you are not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed, because in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be posting some of my favorite restaurants. I posted some in the past. You can go back and watch those, but also stay tuned because I'm going to have even more restaurants coming up that are some of the best restaurants, in my opinion, within Edmond. Now we're going to get to the cons, because while Edmond is great and there's a lot of great things about it, the cons can maybe be a deal breaker for you. So con number one is that there is not a huge infrastructure for public transportation. If you are someone who does not drive, who has never driven, then Edmond is going to be pretty hard to navigate with public transportation. Public transportation is definitely limited and will cause you to rely on personal transportation to and from different areas. Con number two is the weather extremes. There are some really extreme weather that comes through Oklahoma. Obviously, when you think about Oklahoma, you tend to think of tornadoes, and yes, tornadoes do happen. To say that they don't would be silly, because they can happen, they do happen. But as you're specifically looking at Edmond, they don't typically happen in Edmond as much as they do in other areas. So if you're looking at the Oklahoma City metro, there are some cities that tend to see more tornadoes than Edmond. Yes, there is severe weather. Yes, it can happen. But again, it doesn't happen as frequently in Edmond. And a lot of the homes are equipped with storm shelters. If the home doesn't have a storm shelter, you can have one installed. From my experience, they typically range from $4,000 to $6,000 depending on the size of the storm shelter and if it's above ground, in ground, all of those things factor into the cost. But yes, there are tornadoes, but there are also a lot of things in place to help make people as safe as they possibly can be when this weather does come through. Con number 3 is what I want to call the suburban sprawl. And this is when a lot of people start moving to a suburb. And so Edmond is one of those places that, because of the schools, because of the affordability, because of all the things that we've talked about, there are a lot of people moving to Edmond. And this can create some of its own challenges. It can create more congestion. It can create longer commute times. And I will say that when you are comparing traffic in Edmond to other places, it's very minimal. But as you look at Edmond, it's very grid-like. And so every mile or so, you have a stop sign or you have a red light. And so this can slow down traffic. Also, when you're looking at a lot of the roads, they typically are 2 lanes this way, 2 lanes that way, and there's not always a turning lane. And so sometimes these stops in the middle of the road can definitely also hold back traffic, can also sometimes make it dangerous as people trying to get around. That kind of suburban sprawl of people moving and just adding more people to the town can create some traffic and congestion. And so I wouldn't even say that traffic is necessarily a con, because I don't think that it is compared to a lot of other places. But again, those people moving and creating some of those congested areas and times can definitely be a con. The next con, and it was a pro earlier, but I'm going to kind of use it as a con now, is the cost of living and the affordability. Because like I said, Oklahoma tends to be one of the most affordable places that you can find. And when you look at Edmond and you compare Edmond, like I said, to other cities, it is still very affordable. But if you're looking at the Oklahoma City metro, Edmond homes are going to be higher priced than some of the other suburbs of Oklahoma City. And so yes, it's still affordable in comparison to a lot of other places, but compared to the Oklahoma City metro, it doesn't tend to be as affordable as some of the others. Your home prices are going to average a little bit higher. But again, this comes with its own pros, because you have the very highly rated schools, you have that community feel, everything that we talked about in the pro section. And the last con is entertainment options. And this is something that Edmond offers a lot. There's a lot of shopping. There are different entertainment options. But if you are thinking of a city that has just everything, Edmond doesn't have everything. It has a lot. It has pretty much everything you can need. But if you want those extra things, then you might not have them. And so yes, there's movie theaters, there are bowling alleys, there are all sorts of things like that. But specifically in Edmond, you're going to have less of those. But the great thing is that you're super close to Oklahoma City. And so if Edmond doesn't have it, Oklahoma City probably does, or has something very similar to what you're looking for. Comparing Edmond to a large, huge city, think like Dallas or Seattle, obviously there's not going to be as much in Edmond as it is a suburb of Oklahoma City. However, there is still a lot, and it kind of brings about its own very friendly and community feel because of the town. And the town's not super small. There's almost 100,000 people that live within Edmond. There, are a good chunk of people that live in Edmond, but you just might not have as many of these dining and entertainment options as you would in some other major cities. I hope that this video was helpful. I know that there's no way I could have included everything there is to know about Edmond, but these are just some of the maybe top pros and cons that I see and some of the questions that I hear as I'm helping people on their move. And again, if you're thinking about moving, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to be able to work with you and help you on your move to Oklahoma, specifically if you're looking to Edmond or any of those surrounding cities in the Oklahoma City metro. So again, I hope this video was helpful, and I will catch you in my next video.